The day my husband was buried, I thought the hardest part of my life was over. I was wrong. Only 3 weeks after saying goodbye to the man I had loved for 45 years, my own daughter looked me in the eyes and told me that if I could not earn my own living, I had to leave her house. My heart shattered all over again. With no savings and nowhere else to go, I accepted the only opportunity I had, becoming the live-in caregiver for a wealthy man who had been paralyzed in an accident. I expected a difficult job, but I never imagined that my first night in his mansion would uncover a secret buried for almost 50 years. The billionaire, Ethan Carter, was known for being impossible to please. His staff warned me that dozens of caregivers had already quit because of his demanding personality. At first, everything they said was true. He insisted on perfection in every little detail and rarely smiled. Yet every time he looked at me, I noticed something unusual in his eyes. It was as if he knew me from somewhere, though neither of us could explain why. The feeling became stronger every day, making me wonder if fate had brought us together for a reason. One evening, while unpacking the few belongings I had managed to save, I discovered an old photo album that I had not opened in decades. Hidden inside was a picture of my first love, a young man named Ethan, standing beside me with his arm around my waist. We had promised to spend our lives together before he left town to build a successful future. When his letters suddenly stopped, I believed he had forgotten me forever. Heartbroken, I eventually married another man and built a wonderful family. Looking at the photograph, I realized the billionaire downstairs was the same man I had once loved with all my heart. The next morning, Ethan finally admitted that he recognized me too. He confessed that he had never abandoned me willingly. His business partners had hidden my letters and convinced him that I had moved on, while I believed he had simply disappeared. By the time he returned, I was already married. Even after losing me, he never forgot me. He built a business empire, remained unmarried, and quietly kept track of my life from a distance. Only wanting to know that I was happy hearing the truth broke my heart, because both of us had spent nearly half a century suffering from a misunderstanding neither of us had caused. As we shared our memories, I realized the gentle young man I had loved was still hidden beneath the bitterness created by years of loneliness. He admitted that his accident had destroyed his hope of ever finding happiness again, believing no woman would choose a man confined to a wheelchair. I reminded him that I had never loved his wealth or his dreams. I had loved his heart. Slowly, the walls between us disappeared, and we decided to give ourselves the second chance life had stolen from us decades earlier. Our happiness did not last long before my daughter discovered the truth. Furious, she accused me of chasing Ethan for his fortune and claimed I was dishonoring my late husband. She confronted us inside the mansion, expecting Ethan to agree with her. Instead, he defended me with a strength I had never seen. He reminded her that she had forced her own widowed mother out of the house just weeks after losing her husband. Then he revealed that his fortune would be donated to charity because he wanted me, not someone chasing his money. My daughter was speechless. For the first time, she realized she had completely misunderstood both of us. Months later, Ethan asked me to marry him. Our wedding was small and private, but it meant more than any grand celebration could have. We were no longer two young dreamers making impossible promises. We were two older souls who had survived heartbreak, loss, and decades of regret before finally finding our way back to each other. For the first time in many years, I felt truly at peace. Not long after our marriage, my daughter returned with tears in her eyes. While sorting through her father's belongings, she had discovered letters proving he had secretly been involved with another woman during the final years of our marriage. The discovery had filled her with anger and confusion, and she realized she had unfairly taken those emotions out on me. She apologized for forcing me out, insulting my relationship, and trying to control my life. Although her actions had deeply hurt me, I understood that grief had clouded her judgment. I forgave her, but I also made it clear that my happiness would never again depend on anyone else's approval. In the end, my daughter slowly rebuilt her relationship with us, accepting Ethan as part of our family. Together we learned that love can survive time, mistakes, and even decades of separation. Sometimes life takes away everything you thought mattered, so it can return the one thing your heart never truly stopped waiting for. I lost my husband, my home, and even my daughter's support, but I found a second chance with the man I had loved all along. And that taught me one unforgettable lesson. It is never too late for love to find its way home.